Hello? Hello? This is... Hello? Oh, knock. Hello? This is Alex. What are you? This is Alex. Yeah! Why was 7 afraid of 8? Because... No, wait, hold on. No. Why was 9 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. I don't know. Whatever. 7, 8, 9. Well, this one's 8. Church on Sundays, 8. Okay, all right, jump right into it. I know. Okay, so this is like, it's kind of sort of, well, maybe if you've been watching these and you're right on these one. This one's, the explanation of it, and what happened, because I told you to back up just a little bit, and in the process that I went through in the beginning where I couldn't sit still, for 10, 15 minutes. And I would even only started in the very, very beginning. I would even only meditate for 20 minutes because that's really, it's not that that's all I could handle. It's just that I'm just being truthful, or it's just like, in the beginning, it was kind of like wasn't working for me because you want to know why? It was because of me. You want to know why? Because of me. It's because of my busy mind, and it was like it was a labor. To try to quiet your mind sometimes, because a lot of people out there are just crazy, and I was a little bit crazy myself, and. So in the beginning, I would only meditate, honestly, for like 20 minutes because I couldn't sit still. And I couldn't quiet myself. And remember, we talked about the prayer for the heart, mind, body, and soul. This is the prayer. And again, this is the prayer it instructs by God who says, be still and no guide. So if you're be still and no guide, and you're using the heart and mind and body and soul, and everything is a focus on the God in this way, sting, yeah, that's the highway. But there's a process, and there's discipline, and there's consistency for the process to the highway. Woo! And so I went through the beginning of the process, couldn't sit still, and then I was disciplined for 30 minutes, and then one day. And this is profound. And the reason why I say it's profound, and I know it doesn't really sound profound. This doesn't really sound profound, but it is profound because in the moment for me it was profound. And I'm sitting in my chair facing the east. I had this lot. And you got to find a comfortable chair with a good pad on it. And because you're going to be sitting there and your buttster can't get sore. Not a little better distraction, don't you think? So you got to have a chair with a good pad, and if you need a blanket to stay warm or whatever, you got to be able to sit up. You got to be able to sit up straight and be attentive. You got to be able to sit up straight, and you'll be amazed. You think you're going to sit there and you're going to do this, and so why can't you can't lay down. You can't, or you're just going to fall asleep. You can't. I tried teaching my son one time how to meditate, and he was sitting at the kitchen table, and he put his head down, and he fell asleep. So you're just going to fall asleep if you do anything else but sit up straight in a chair. Okay, because sitting up straight in a chair and maintaining posture. Right, maintaining posture. The only time I was able to sit in a chair and go to sleep is when I was in the Navy and I was working 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. That, and you go to bed tired, get up tired, go to bed tired, get up tired, go to bed tired, get up tired. And that was the only time I've ever been able to sleep in weird positions. One time I was sleeping on the back end of a F-14 Tomcat, and the tail was hanging over the aft end of the aircraft carrier. It was like the tail was hanging over just a little bit, and for some reason, man, I'm sleeping there, and I'm laying on the top of this F-14 Tomcat, and I'm sleeping, and I don't know if it was a dream or what, but it felt like my body did like a 90-degree roll, and it moved. I don't know, man. I don't know what it was. I just felt like my body slid, and see, my conscious conscious awareness right there in the moment was like, oh my gosh, I could go swoop and go, I go splush in the ocean at night. No, can't have that. And, so I woke up, I put my hands down, I'm like, whoa, and I hadn't moved in them. I was just kind of shocked in that moment about how, what made me feel in this dream that I woke up, and that I, thought maybe I was going to slide and then keep sliding. Oh gosh. Scary. But sitting up straight in a chair and being relaxed and being comfortable. Got to get you good padded chair. That's right. You got to get you good one. And so your butts don't get sore. The butts don't get sore. And so I went through all the process, and I know I've talked about it, and I like to. And one time I'm sitting there, and I went into my meditation. I went into my meditations without any expectation either. I went into it purely with discipline. Do it. Just do it, go into the discipline and just do it. And so I did it, and I meditated, and I'm sitting there, and I know this sounds like a short story, but I'm sitting there meditating. I'm immersed because I had spent practice immersing, focusing on God, clearing my mind, speaking to God in the very beginning by saying, thank you, God. I praise you. I thank you for loving me. Just kind of gratitude. Gratitude is something we're going to get into, but many videos from now, you see, so you want to make sure you're watching the 1 and 2 and 3 and 13 and 26 and, and so I'm sitting there meditating, and then all of a sudden, it was like I'm sitting there meditating, and then my eyes open, and I looked over at the clock, and I had been sitting there for an hour and a half. And I know for me, in that moment, it was kind of astounding because, wow! I was asking myself the question, where was I at? I'm serious. Because it was like, I'm still, I'm in my chair, I'm sitting up straight, just comfortable, in a comfortable chair, legs are like 90 degrees, sitting on a chair, and come on, straight up, Dick. And, just sitting with chairs and, sitting there just comfortable, meditating, back up against. And I knew I wasn't, and when I woke up and I looked over at the clock, and I'd been sitting there for an hour and a half, and I knew wholeheartedly that I wasn't sleeping, because when I woke up, I didn't get the feeling of sleeping. What I did get was the feeling that, and how do you say this without saying that I was someplace else? And I can't tell you exactly at all where I was, because that's the whole thing about self-realization, is coming into the understanding and the realization of the spirit that is within inside of you. God's not out there in the clouds with the long beard and the magic wand. God is inside you. That's where he's at. And I think just a little bit, in that moment, just a little bit, that God was inside of me, and that the Spirit of God is inside of me, and the Spirit of God is the thing that powers me. He is the beat in your heart. He is the breath that you breathe. And coming into the understanding of the self-realization of who you are as a spirit, that was where it started for me. That was where it started for me. Just a little pinprick of the self-realization and the understanding of that God is inside of me, and He is the power that is sustaining me. And wherever I was, and I gotta tell you, I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. Sitting in that chair, looking over at the clock. And had been sitting there for an hour and a half, and had the conscious thought immediately that went through my mind, where was I? Where was I? And that was a very poignant moment, and also made a big impression on me that in that moment also there was power in that relationship that I was having. Right there, in a conscious awakening of power that is within me. Power. There was power in what I was doing. There was power in what I was searching for. And in that moment especially, it gave me, it put the earnest desire in me even more to keep diving and keep searching and to keep having that relationship with God. And it took me, now let's just say, I know, I had a foundation of that believing in God. Right. I had the foundation of believing in God. So that kind of gave me a little bit of boost. And, but it took me 6 to 8 weeks to get into that moment of self-realization, you see, that even put it on my heart at an even greater strength to have that relationship with God and to keep going and to know that there's something that's really, really powerful there. It was like there's something here. So yeah, and you saw what just happened and the feeling that you just got, when you worked like this and then you looked over at the clock. Yeah! Church on Sundays, yeah! We can all call him God. Yeah!